Auburn, they've been inside the top 10 when it comes to the On3 industry rankings. They've been outside the top 10. Then they were back inside. They're currently sitting at number 16 overall, but the Tigers are trending for a few key targets. We're going to have on Jeffrey Lee of Auburn Live. He's going to take us behind the scenes of Auburn recruiting in this video. But before we get going, make sure you guys are subscribed to the best recruiting channel on all of YouTube. Auburn fans, we need you to be a part of this. Hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on Jeffrey Lee from Auburn Live. Now we're talking about who Auburn's trending for. Let's start with Anquon Fegans. He's going to be making his decision on July 29th right here on the On3 Recruits channel. Now, it never comes easy for Auburn because this weekend Fegans is going to make a quick trip to LSU. Could this be trouble?
It could be trouble, Josh, as we all know in recruiting. Anytime a kid takes a visit right before a commitment, could be trouble for the team that is trending for him. I just really feel like this one was over a long time ago. I do. I feel like Charles Kelly coming in there is making a big impact with Anquon Fegans, his father. And if you don't recall, Fegans' brother just transferred in as a preferred walk-on to Auburn. I think after that it was pretty much a done deal for Auburn, and I just feel like an LSU visit this weekend would be just let me check to make sure, and right. Yes, it is.
All right, we'll see. DB Blake Woodby, he decommitted from Ohio State back in May. Now he's trending heavily to Auburn. I'm hearing a lot of smoke from our guys, Chad Simmons and Steve Wiltfong. But when do you think Blake Woodby is going to be ready to make his decision?
I think he's a big cat guy. I think he's a Saturday decision. I think, like Fegans, I think this one was over a long time ago. I think it was over several weeks ago. I think he's just been waiting for the right time to make the biggest splash. And I expect Woodby to commit to Auburn on Saturday during Big Cat or shortly thereafter, maybe even to get it started. But I would be surprised if Sunday comes and he hasn't committed.
All right. And then if he commits over the weekend, that means Anquon Fegans is right behind him just a few days later. So we'll see what happens there. Now, athlete Derick Smith, he's committed to Alabama. If he shows at Big Cat Weekend, as you guys are reporting and is expected, is a flip possible, or is this a battle that's going to go into the fall?
No, I think a flip is absolutely possible. Now, he's scheduled to be at Bama on Sunday as well, but this is a guy we're going to be keeping a very close eye on. Mm-hmm. You know, Auburn has been prioritizing him since early in this recruitment. Marcus Davis, Hugh has been very involved in his recruitment. They like him. They like Derick Smith on offense. They like him at wide receiver. Absolutely, he could play defense. He could play safety. But Auburn really likes him on offense. They like him at wide receiver. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on. He was on campus a couple of weeks ago at the end of June for an official visit. So he's definitely on the flip watch for me.
Yeah. And then on August 3rd, a huge day on the On3 Recruit channel. We're going to have 3 live commitments that day, one of them being edge Jared Smith. Now, as I said, he commits August 3rd, so we are really getting down to it. He's trending heavily to Auburn on the On3 RPM machine. But Jeff, who here is the biggest competition, as we're less than 2 weeks away from his decision?
Yeah, I think it has been and continues to be South Carolina.
Yeah.
I think he was trending that way heavily up until Auburn really got into the mix, started making a push, and that was towards the middle of the summer. He made a couple of unofficial visits to Auburn for team camp, for elite camp, and he's coming back Saturday, 3 or 4 days before his commitment. I really feel like Auburn has made a big push, prioritized him of late, and I would be surprised if he commits anywhere but Auburn at this point. Mm-hmm. Now, you're talking about him, was it August 3rd, Josh?
Yep, August 3rd.
So between now and probably next week at this time, which would be August 3rd-ish, I think Auburn could be upwards of 8 new commitments, including Jared Smith, Blake Woodby, Anquon Fegans. Derick Smith is a guy to keep an eye on. Deuce Knight is another guy to keep an eye on. But there's also 3 2026 guys we're going to be watching extremely closely in Hezekiah Harris, Shadarius Tootle, and Jamichael Garrett. So this could be the start of a very fun week for Auburn recruiting fans.
All right, Auburn fans, tap in. Comment section below. How fun is this week going to get? Let us know who you think could be the next commitment for the Auburn Tigers. Comment section below. Well, you've made it to the end of today's video, but there's hundreds more videos on the On3 Recruits channel for you to check out. And also, while you're here, hit subscribe.